I've been looking forward to getting this. I hope it lives up to my expectations. I believe this is the next to the largest size they have. It is supposed to extend out a little over 10 inches and hold up to 11 pounds. Let's see what's in the box. A little sales catalog. Shows all the arms and accessories. A little bag of air, what looks like a washer, and the arm. It feels solid with maybe a little bit of an oily film on it. I think that's going to be a good length. Now this is the NOGA MG9038CA. The one end is a 1/4 20 threads, basic camera mount thread. The ball and socket joint move quite smoothly. It has a tightening nut that is rubber padded. Has quite good friction. The wrench size for this end is 12 millimeters, or 1/2 inch. The total length of the 1/4 20 stud is 20 millimeters, and the tightening nut is just short of 10 millimeters wide. Now the other end is 3/8/16 threads. Again, ball and socket move smoothly. The wrench size for this end is 22 millimeters, or 7/8 of an inch, and the total thread length is 10 millimeters. It turns out the washer is a Belleville washer that fits the 3/8 inch end, and a pretty stiff one at that. The handle is spring-loaded. When you pull out on the handle, it disengages, so can tighten or loosen this arm right up next to another object. That's a nice touch. The handle can also be tightened with a T15 Torx driver. Under the handle is what looks like some kind of thrust bearing. So the thrust bearing will push on this wedge. Which will in turn push on the tapered end of a shaft that goes through the arm to the ball socket. Then there is a spacer to separate the two arms. The other arm is made the same way. Only what appears to be a 4.5 millimeter grade 8.8 bolt pulls the wedge into the tapered end of the shaft. So this arm is made the same way as their indicator holders, only a little heavier duty. So I feel good about that. The only difference I noticed is that on the indicator holder, the thrust bearing is built into the tightening knob. As for movement, it takes about 1.5 turns of the handle to go from free moving to what feels like locked up tight. Since the 1/4-20 threads have to go to the camera, the 3/8/16 threads will have to mount the fixed end, and I'm a bit light on 3/8/16 sockets at the moment. The arm I'm attaching this to is okay, but can really only position the camera in 2 directions, and in one of those directions, teeth hold it in position, so not the most precise camera positioning. I'll just snug this up a bit. It has a tremendous range of motion. I feel like it could be positioned at any location or angle. I think this is going to work great. Once I get this arm mounted correctly, I think I'm really going to enjoy it. Of course, the reason I wanted this was to be able to point the camera exactly where I want it to point. So let's see how it does with a camera mounted to it. A little tricky getting it attached. Looks like I'll be able to position and point the camera just as I had hoped. Now the 10-inch range is a limit, but the idea is that this arm will mount onto a rigid arm or post, making for a way less springy camera setup. The arm is expensive, but it does seem to be of a very high quality, and I don't want to risk a camera falling, so I think it's worth the price. There is one thing I feel they overlooked. On the 1/4-20 end, instead of a 12mm flat space for a wrench, it needs a thumb knob. It would be nice if the 1/4-20 stud could be tightened by hand. As it is, it's too hard to get a grip on the stud. If it had that, I think it would be near perfect. Thank you for watching.